One of the most frequent questions I and Tom get asked about electronic discovery is, how do we figure out what to do? What resources are available to us? Where do we go? Some of the best starting points are the organizations that have spent the most time and been working the longest to try to figure out what to do about electronic discovery. On the practical side, go to an organization that Tom and I run, eDRM, edrm.net. That focuses very much on what do you do, how do you do it. If you want to focus instead on the legal and policy issues, a great source is the Sedona Conference at the sedonaconference.org. Of course, a number of law firms have blogs available. K&L Gates has a wonderful blog on electronic discovery law, eDiscoverylaw.com. And then the providers, LexisNexis and others, make a wealth of resources available. So check out their resources, their websites, talk with their sales reps. You can learn a lot that way. And of course, don't forget the person down the hall. Well, in the early days of my involvement with electronic discovery, one of my greatest resources was the firm's executive director, who happened to be taking some technology courses. And it was from him who I learned how to use pivot tables and Excel. So don't forget your own colleagues in that. You know, we routinely get asked, what do I do about costs? How do I control and manage costs, because either they seem to go out of control or I'm afraid they're going to go out of control. And there are some basic things that can make an enormous difference. The first thing is that if costs are going to go out of control, they're probably going to go out of control because people have done an insufficiently sound job of project management. Figure out what you're trying to do, map out what you want to do, monitor what's happening, track costs, track activities, use things such as the UTBMS eDiscovery task codes, which come out of the eDRM metrics codes, to track what you're doing. Because if you don't measure what you do, if you don't monitor what you do, if you don't keep track of what you're doing, it's very hard to control and manage and monitor your costs. I mean, there are a number of methods of choosing eDiscovery providers. We do not recommend that you print out the first page of each website, throw them down a staircase and choose that way, although sometimes it seems that the process people use isn't that different. Of course, once again, talk with your colleagues, try to find out what your experiences internally are, attend conferences, ask questions of the providers and their users at conferences, go to webinars. You can also go to resources. Tom and I have one available called Apersee, apersee.com. Tom will tell you more about that in a little bit.
Thanks, George. Apersee is a site that was developed about 2 years ago with the express intent to help organizations find providers to help them with their electronic discovery projects and requirements. And think of the best way to describe Apersee is it's eHarmony for eDiscovery. It brings consumers together with providers of electronic discovery. And I'd like to show you quickly what Apersee is all about. So if you take a look at the screen here, it starts with a very simple search. And so I will look for LexisNexis. Oh, hang on. And as you see, it comes up with whatever those search results. We have over 1,100 providers in our database at Apersee. And to the extent the providers complete their description of their products and offerings, the more they fill out the details, the more likely the results will show up in the searches. And so, for example, I want to take a look at the first on the list, or let's say it. Let's take a look at law pre-discovery. This takes you actually to the provider's listing on Apersee. And as you see, it's whatever the providers want to describe in terms of their products and services. It also provides a reference as far as how that particular product or service fits within the EDRM, within the electronic discovery reference model. And in this case, this shows that it's part of a processing solution. Our recently upgraded search engine also provides a visual clue that helps you drill down into your search results. So for example, here we are looking for LexisNexis, and we can see a variety of services that their tools match. So we'll look at management software, just click on that, and that refines the search. And so again, Apersee is a way to find a provider for the electronic discovery project that you have, and to quickly find that provider.